How's it going, everybody? Jared Lutz here, back with another Diablo IV video. We've got lots to talk about today, very exciting stuff if you're looking forward to D4 like I am. We got another developer update live stream, the last one before launch, this time featuring Rod Ferguson, Kagan Clark, Joe Pipora, and Adam Fletcher as they talk about everything and anything related to seasonal content for D4. I'm here to break down the entire live stream for you to give you all the new info that we learned. Links to the live stream and the newest blog post will be in the description for you to check out if you want to watch or read everything for yourself. First off, before we jump in, I want to detail the two types of game instances that will be brought up throughout this video in relation to content that stays in the game versus content that's limited. These are explained as two realms. You've got the eternal realm, which is anything that stays a part of the game forever, and then you have the seasonal realm, which is content that will only be in game for a given season. We'll go over what content is part of each realm as we make our way through each topic. We also now know a more specific launch date for the first season, which will be in mid to late July. This month to 2 month period prior to Season 1 is known as the preseason. The devs expect this amount of time is a good length to allow for everyone to have a chance to get through the entire base game and what it has to offer before seasons begin, maybe get in depth with a few classes, really nail down your favorite, throw some builds together, that kind of thing. Okay, so the first thing really showed off is this fancy graphic that shows the pillars of seasonal content, with the first pillar being the seasonal quest line. Every single season in Diablo IV is going to have some sort of theme, a theme that everything revolves around, meaning things that rotate into the in-game shop, cosmetics on the battle pass, new game mechanics, everything will focus on a specific theme. The seasonal quest and story are no different here. Every single season will offer up a brand new self-contained story that doesn't revolve around the major campaign narrative of Diablo IV. So the seasons aren't going to be focused on Lilith or Inarius or the major characters of the bigger overarching story. That story will be saved for expansions. Seasonal stories will be more separate, focused on building and fleshing out the world, introducing new characters and new story beats that aren't bound to the main quest line. This seasonal quest line will introduce you to the story, obviously, but will also introduce you to the seasonal mechanics, which brings us to the next pillar, fresh gameplay. Every season will also include fresh gameplay mechanics for players to engage with over the course of a season. These could be new powers to earn, new ways to go about building your characters, new monsters, new mechanics, new things to craft, new things to do. These are completely new features for players to experience within a given season, but they will be retired when the season they're introduced with ends, so they're part of the quote seasonal realm. Joe did point out that if players really like certain mechanics or certain features that are part of a season, there's always the chance that they return with a future season or end up being moved into the eternal realm as a permanent part of the game. Moving to the next pillar, we've got long-term progression, which comes in the form of two features: the season journey and the battle pass. The season journey is making its return from Diablo III. This contains a bunch of different objectives that are tied to the current season, the story, and mechanics that are going on. We get to see a portion of the season journey here. The top secret sections are there because they apparently contain spoilers for Season 1, which we still have no information on yet, as they aren't planning on talking about it until after launch. But we do see some various objectives here, like collect Gala wine, complete any dungeon, complete a local event. Very simple stuff to start. All of these objectives are separated into chapters, so this is just chapter 1. You can see that there's 0 of 9 objectives completed here. Now what's different from Diablo 3's system is that in D4, you don't have to complete every single objective to unlock the next chapter. So if there's an objective you either can't do or don't want to do, you have some leeway there. As far as rewards go, you get big rewards for completing a chapter, things like big caches of crafting materials or items, and even legendary aspects that go into your Codex of Power. These aspects will be brand new and unique to the season journey, meaning you can't get them from dungeons, but you can still find them on item drops. You also are rewarded for completing each objective, but these award something called Favor, which is what experience for the Battle Pass is called. Completing an entire chapter also awards you with a greater amount of favor. Another thing I want to mention here is how exactly you participate in a season. Joe mentioned that the best way to experience a season is to have already beaten the main campaign of Diablo IV, and that's because in order to play each new season, you need to create a new character. And if you've already beaten the campaign once, you'll be given the option to skip the campaign every time you make a new character, Skipping the campaign puts you right at the doorstep of the season, letting you begin experiencing the new things right away. You can still play on your other characters, they'll be part of the Eternal Realm, but you can only progress the Battle Pass with favor, and you can only get favor from completing the seasonal journey and from playing with a seasonal character. And once the season ends, your seasonal characters will be then transferred to the Eternal Realm, where you can continue to play them or start another new character as part of the next season, and so on and so forth. Speaking of the Battle Pass, I want to say right off the bat that there is no pay to win here or pay for power, it seems, as they have systems built in to make sure of that, which we'll go over here in a second. So here it is, our first official look at what the Battle Pass might look like. So what we have here is a preview of some of the cosmetics, the pass itself obviously across the bottom. We can see some armor and weapon transmogs, an emote, and some other stuff I'm unsure of. What you're seeing here is a mix of the free and premium rewards for the Battle Pass. You level up the pass by earning favor, which you obtain from the season journey and from leveling up and playing any seasonal character. Now there's 3 different variations of the Battle Pass. You've got the free version, which contains 27 total tiers, so that's 27 items you get for free every season. The premium pass will cost $10 roughly, depending on where you live, and this includes 63 tiers, equaling out to a 90 total tiers. Why they didn't do 100, I will never understand, but 90 tiers it is, I guess. There's also an accelerated pass that you can buy for roughly $25 that will automatically unlock the first 20 tiers and get you a unique cosmetic. Along the free track, the main items you'll be getting are a currency called Smoldering Ashes. You use this currency to unlock seasonal blessings, which you can see right here. These are different buffs that will help accelerate you through a given season. We've got multiple urns here of which you can dump your Smoldering Ashes into. The Urn of Aggression gives you a boost to XP for monster kills. The Urn of Bargaining gives you a boost to the amount of gold earned from vendor sales. Urn of Reclamation gives you a boost to the chance of rare materials from salvage. And the Urn of Prolonging gives you a boost to the duration of elixirs. Then you've obviously got this top secret urn that we know nothing about. Now, every tier on the Battle Pass that gives you the Smoldering Ashes currency has a secondary requirement in the form of your character's level. So let's say you purchased the accelerated Battle Pass, you unlock those first 20 tiers from the get-go. You still can't access those Smoldering Ashes until you reach the level that the specific Smoldering Ashes tier states. So this first one here requires you to be level 10, next one is 20, that kind of thing. That way there's no pay for power here at all. Also, there's no Smoldering Ashes drops on the paid pass, they're all on the free tiers. The dev said that everything that affects gameplay is on the free track only. Back to the premium track tiers and what kind of cosmetics you can expect from it season over season. You actually get 2 full armor sets for each class. These are obviously unlocked as transmog, so you can mix and match them with existing transmog that you have as you see fit. Now, take this image here with a grain of salt. This is probably not the Season 1 Battle Pass armor sets, as they are holding almost everything about Season 1 very close to their chest. I'd imagine this is just an example mock-up solely for the purpose to give an example. The pass will also contain seasonal mount armor, role-playing clothing options for transmog. You got more transmog, more emotes. You also get platinum, which is the currency used to purchase the premium pass and items from the in-game microtransaction shop. Moving on from the Battle Pass stuff, they also briefly mentioned the quality of life pillar, which is something I think we all have come to expect from games within the live service genre. They basically talked about how they plan to listen to feedback from players, take into consideration what people like or dislike, and make changes accordingly over the course of development for future seasons. You got balance changes, things like that, which is all expected when it comes to a game like Diablo. Then on the focus of customization, we've got the in-game microtransaction store. Yes, everyone's favorite topic. The big focus point for the team during this part of the live stream was really nailing down the fact that armor transmog that's sold in the shop are really focused on a specific fantasy of a class, while maintaining the very real, very dark, very grounded aesthetic that Diablo IV has. Examples were given like if you want to be a thunder goddess as a sorceress or a barbarian that wears the tongues of their victims, there might be transmog armor sets in the shop that fulfill that very specific fantasy. Then you can take these different sets and mix and match them to all the other armor in the game to create your own fashion so you stand out from every other player. What's really cool in my opinion is that the in-game armor looks just as good as the shop items. You can see here, as I just slideshow these, that you really can't tell which one is the shop set versus the in-game set because they both look great. They both fit the same theme of the game, One doesn't stand out terribly more than the other, and that goes for all of these. That's a very important balance to hit in a game like Diablo. Most games don't even try to hit that balance, where the shop cosmetics look 1,000 times better than what you can find in-game because they want you to spend your money. So far, I don't see that here, which makes me very relieved. There's also a new cosmetic we learned about but didn't get to see an example of, and that is headstones, basically what shows up as your grave when you die. Apparently you can customize that. Also, all of the in-shop transmog items can be dyed with colors, and everything you buy in the shop or unlock via the battle pass is all account-wide, meaning you can access these cosmetics on any characters, past, present, or future, and you can access them on other platforms as well, as everything is tied to your Battle.net account. Rounding out the customization topic, each season will also introduce new legendary powers that will roll on gear, new uniques, new gear to outfit yourself with that will certainly change up skills, change up builds, that kind of thing. And the final pillar of seasonal content is Aspirational Challenges, which is meant to be pinnacle activities that high-level and skilled players can participate in, so essentially new endgame-ish stuff that allows players to express their power in new and exciting ways. As some examples, Joe mentioned new bosses, new encounters, new dungeons, things they're very excited about. It was also brought up that these features will sort of act as a testing ground for experimental endgame features that may end up sticking around in some form or fashion if players enjoy them enough. And at the end of the live stream, the devs talked about a few other random things as well as answered some questions from fans, some of which gave us some more info on an assortment of stuff. So first up, the item shop refreshes every week on Tuesdays. Things that leave the shop aren't put into a vault to never return or rarely return. Things will frequently return as time goes on, so no fear of missing out. Also learned that the shop will kinda tailor to you over time, so if you end up playing as a barbarian the most, you might end up seeing barbarian stuff on the front page of the shop or on your recommended page. We got news that there will be no leaderboards in Season 1 or probably 2, but they know how much people want leaderboards, so they're working to get them done and working as fast as possible. Around level 30-ish is when you get to the quest in the campaign to get your mount, but it's on the main campaign quest line. So if you end up not doing the main quest and just exploring or something forever, your mileage may vary. There's also potential to add the feature to move the Altars of Lilith to new locations every season if people want that. Hardcore characters don't lose their seasonal journey progress on death, it's account bound. If you skip the campaign, you start in Kjovashad. And there are mounts and other cosmetics to collect and unlock from completing certain challenges just in the base game. And that's going to do it for all the info we got out of the Developer Livestream today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe for more Diablo IV content. I got lots of stuff on the way. The server slam is literally around the corner. I've got a video breaking down everything you need to know about the server slam, including some tips to reach level 20 faster to nail down those sweet rewards, so make sure you check that out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.